Hi everyone. So today we're going to look at an interesting topic. Should I sell or should I wait? There are a lot of factors to consider in this when you are trying to determine whether you should sell your property or whether you should wait. You're looking at market conditions. Is this a good time? Am I going to get my best price? So there are all these factors in play, and so we're going to highlight a few of the factors for you to consider that will help you weigh whether it's an appropriate time for you to sell or not. So one of the first questions you'll have to answer is this my primary residence? Is it where I live, or is it an investment property where I'm looking at profiting from the sale of this property? Another question you'll have to ask yourself is, are you in financial distress? Or are you in need of liquidity? Are you in need of cash? Or are you in a position that it really doesn't matter if my property sells or not in the next 6 months? If I don't get my price, I'm not going to sell. But in many cases, there are people who need to sell their property, whether it's because they need the funds or they're planning on migrating, whatever the reason is, you have to answer this question. So first of all, let's look at this question. Why do you want to sell? What are the primary reasons or the primary factors that are driving you to make a decision or to determine whether this is a good time to sell or not? Can you afford to wait? Now one will debate this question a lot and tell you, listen, if it's not the best time to sell and you wait, then it might not be the best time to buy. So if you are looking to sell a property and turn around and buy one, well, if you're going to sell on the low, you'll probably end up buying on the low as well. If you wait till the property market goes up and you sell when the market is high, then you need to understand when you're going to buy it, you will also be buying high. So you have to figure out this question of, can you afford to wait and do you want to wait? What happens if you wait? Do you get into some kind of financial problems? Or are you able to wait because it's purely an investment property and you don't have debt that requires the sale of this property? What next if you sell? Are you going to reinvest that in a property? Do you have something to spend that money on and that's why you are selling? Are you absolutely desperate to sell, or are you desperate and wanting to get a high price? You have to think about all these things. See, prices right now are not going up, but we also don't know how far they will come down or how long they may stagnate or how long it might take again for the market to start improving in terms of pricing and for pricing to go up. So you have to look at all these questions that I posed to you right now and get the answers to them, so that you will be in a better position to answer the question of whether you want to sell or wait. So let me answer one or two of those questions for you. Okay? One of them, it is your primary residence and not an investment property. So if it is your primary residence, did you purchase it? Do you have a loan outstanding on it? Or did you receive it as a result of a gift or from your parents or whatever it was? See, the factors there that are in play are highly different. If you received it from your parents, you have no purchase price that you had. So you can look at the prevailing market rate, and if you are realistic, you would want to price it and sell it at that. However, if you bought that property, say 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and now you've lost your job and you need the money and you need to sell, but then you also have a loan on the property. So now we have to factor in all those things. Can you afford to wait? If you've lost your job, how are you going to pay the mortgage? Do you look at the situation and realize that you'd rather sell and get out of the debt as opposed to maybe go into some kind of bank foreclosure or default? Are you in financial distress? That's part of it, and so you need the cash. Maybe it's not major financial distress. Maybe you have one asset that requires a payment, and this asset you have full equity, and it's something that you received as a gift from someone. Therefore, it makes more sense for you to sell that and service this so that you can allow this property to appreciate and sell it at the right time. So there all these factors come into play when you are deciding whether you should sell or you should wait. You should not simply rely on the fact of the real estate market, because if you wait too long, you might find yourself in a desperate position. Or if you sell too quickly, you might look back and regret it. Now, I would say one thing on that. Once you sell a property, move on. In 3 months, don't look for what the pricing is and compare. Don't get yourself down, because there's nothing you can change. So don't look back on something that you have already done unless it is just to learn a lesson. Don't compare and beat yourself up over it. 2020 hindsight vision is great, but none of us have the luxury of it. So just move forward and not look back at those kind of experiences. So take all these questions I put forward to you, write down the answers and weigh them and see, where do I actually stand? Do I have to sell the property right now? Do I only sell it if I get this price, and will I be okay if I wait? Do I want to wait because the market might go down? Can I afford to wait? If I wait too long, do I get myself into a desperate position? Answer these questions so that you make an informed decision on what you are going to do with your real estate asset. The last thing you want to do is be pushed into a corner and be forced to do something and lose money when you could have made a better decision 3 to 6 months ago. Sometimes it does make sense to sell for a little less and move on as opposed to wait, because you don't know how long it will take for you to find another buyer at a higher rate. Thanks for joining us again. Subscribe, like our pages, and we'll be back shortly with another video. Take care and have a wonderful day.